Hey guys, how's it going? So, just for additional context, yesterday I said we were going to Washington, D.C. Um, that's not our primary destination, just my wife's never been there and wanted to see it. So, we're actually seeing my dad a couple hours away in Pennsylvania, and he's been having cancer, very aggressive and rare type of cancer for, I would say, since 2018. So quite a few years now, 2019 maybe. And he keeps doing these experimental treatments and with a moderate amount of success. He's still fairly young too, so by no means would want to see him pass on already. And I haven't seen him in over 2 years. And so this is actually a special trip because given the circumstances, you never know if it's the last time. Well, in general, every single day, you never know if it's the last time you'll see anyone that you love. So that is one thing to contemplate and meditate on that everyone should be doing. It's important. Um, anyway, so I jinxed myself, and this happened many times before where I would make a video and complain I have no dreams, and then I would have a dream. Happened many times already. This one was interesting. Um, Certainly another dimension, a very interesting dimension. Um, and I saw a few Facebook friends in this dream, including Shane Bales, who I did an interview with, who's a YouTuber, very interesting person, um, and other people as well that were in this dream. We were with a group of friends traveling through this forested area, and it was some kind of large gathering or meeting of some kind that we're all very excited about. And this forest that we're driving through was a narrow two-lane highway, and the forest looked very peculiar. It wasn't normal. These massive, massive pine trees um, were bigger than even the biggest pine trees that I'd seen. And they were of a beige color. This including the pine leaves themselves. They were of a beige, brown, yellow color, but it didn't look like, a burned tree that you would normally see. They looked like this was their natural condition, that this is how they're supposed to be. And it's just really strange to be driving through this sea of brownish beige. And things like that, in my opinion, that seem irrelevant or unimportant when it comes to consciousness in other realms, it is actually extremely important. Um, Colors and spectrums of light and the way things appear are actually pivotal in the development of different types of consciousness. So you might be seeing simply trees that are a different color than they are here on Earth, but that color subconsciously affected their development. And this includes, obviously other spectrums of light that I've discussed before, like the color of the sun in that realm or of light in general. Remember my OBE with the white-eyed people who were only subjected to red lights. They couldn't withstand any other color except red lights. Well, that was how their DNA and their consciousness developed in that particular reality. So this is kind of the same sort of idea. But other than that, everything looked very human. um, and somewhat normal, but different. But different. This is very common where it's very similar but very different at the same time. And we get to a destination of these like cabin like structures. They're not really cabins, they're buildings. They're very beautiful buildings, kind of placed all over in the forest. And they kind of look uh, almost cottage like something that you would possibly see in rural England, except much bigger. These were big buildings, like 2 stories high, but they were quite a lot of square footage, like multiple rooms. And this was a sort of type of quasi campground, it seemed like, except you weren't camping in a tent. And they were really beautifully painted in these yellow colors and had these ornate designs on them. And this place, there was this, it was like a barbecue or something. Like it was a festival, and we're meeting to discuss something, and we have like a lot of barbecue and food and all sorts of things. So after this sort of social gathering, we I decided to go for a drive with someone, with a passenger, which I don't remember or was able to see who it was. And we're driving down this 2-lane highway again, and I go really fast. I go really, really fast, and I'm swerving, and the car is, I'm barely handling and controlling the car, and I swerve away from these 2 cops. I almost hit them. I come this close to hitting them, and I remember distinctly that they were in these 2 Dodge Charger looking cars. And after nearly hitting them, they started to chase after me, but I somehow managed to evade them. Okay. And we returned to this campsite or this village or whatever it was. It was neither. It was hard to describe what it was. And I really want to emphasize how pretty it was and interesting to look at these yellow structures amidst the sea of beige brown trees. It was really peculiar. And there was a coastline, by the way, too. So this drive that I took, it was along the coast. And the name the name of this place, they kept saying it was like Moncton or something similar to that. And I'm like, why that? And I looked up Moncton, and there's a town called Moncton in New Brunswick, Canada. And that was the name I remember that this area that we were in, it was called Moncton or something like that. And so the cops chase after us. I evade them. We return to this area. And I'm like, hey, I'm describing what happened. I'm like, I just got into this crazy situation. I got chased by these 2 cops, and they were just staring at me and were like, hey, they know who you are. They're already here, and they want to just talk to you. And that's when things got strange. I see these 2 dudes that look nothing like cops at all. Massive, very tall, bald, with mustaches. They look like burly and buff and just very, very large. And they were identical. They were like identical twins. And one was dressed completely different than the other. One had from head to toe Egyptian garb on. From all I saw were hieroglyphs to pyramids to everything in between Egyptian related. And these drapes that he was wearing, they're very golden colored. And he looked very like kind of like royalty almost. And it was really interesting, really kind of beautiful clothing that he was wearing. Um, and the other one, who was identical to they're both the same exactly. He looked like he was wearing some kind of medieval, not medieval, older than that, like ancient European bearskin type of cover that you might see ancient Vikings wear or other cultures from thousands of years ago, Germanic perhaps, uh, like a deerskin kind of cover over his lower body and a bearskin or some kind of animal hide over his shoulders. And he had this large sword that he was carrying. And they were both just standing there. And one of them, the one who was Egyptian, said something. And they were like very calm and peaceful and not threatening at all. They were just had this look of peculiarity and maybe concern. I would add the word concern in their faces. And the other bearskin dude came up to me and he whispered something in my ear. And I don't remember what either of them said, which sucks. It sucks. But anyway, that was it, really. There was some stuff after that that I have vague memories of, but nothing special. So Moncton, gonna look up some information about that place, and kind of sounds similar to Montauk now that I think of it. And I don't know. I'm glad I finally got to get out of this dimension for a second.